Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So today is the most important day, Radha Kund Sham Kund appearance day, Bahulashtami festival. Bahulashtami is nothing but the deepest love of Radha and Krishna. In the eternal world, Bahulashtami, Radha Kund and Sham Kund appeared with the tears of Srimati Radharani and the tears of Krishna. Though they were sitting together, they felt the separation. And Radharani feels, oh, Krishna has left me and gone. Then Radharani cries and goes into the forest. And there, because she is deeply thinking about Krishna, she assumes the form of Krishna and goes on crying. And here Krishna sees, oh, Radharani has also left. Why Radharani has left? And why is she running and going? And he also runs. And he's completely absorbed in the thought of Srimati Radharani. And he sees, and he assumes the form of Radharani and he's also crying. Gopis are now seeing what happened to both of them. They're sitting peacefully and suddenly they feel the separation and they are crying so much. So they run behind to search. They see Radha and Krishna. But now these Radha and Krishna interchange and the Kund is formed. Cry of Radharani is Radha Kund, cry of Krishna is Krishna Kund. And the same Radha Kund and Sham Kund appeared in the Bhaumadila by the Arishtasura demon being killed today. Krishna kills Arishtasura, who is a bull demon. And he then comes to perform Ras with Radharani. Radharani says, you have killed a bull demon. Bull comes in the family of cow. So you are a sinner. So you should go and take bath in all the tirthas. Krishna says, me, I'm going to tirtha. No way. I'll bring the tirtha. That is how he invokes all the tirtha. And that is how the Sham Kund is formed and he takes bath. And then now he tells to Radharani, you should also take bath because you spoke to a sinner. So now what you should do, you should have your own kund. Instead of that, you take water from my kund, you can come and take bath in my kund. She says, no way. Because you have taken bath in your kund, you have deposited your sin. So I will not take bath in your kund. I will have my own kund. She makes all the gopis stand in a row and they try to get water from Mansi Ganga. And that is how with her Kangan, she she tries to dig the earth. And that is how Kankan Kund is there. But then Krishna laughs. How much time it will take from there to bring water with your Kangan? You are trying to make a kund. So he was thinking, let me tell all the tirthas to go and praise Srimati Radharani. So all the tirthas, they come to Radharani, they glorify her. Her heart melts. She allows them to enter her kund. That is how Radha Kund is there. So Radharani takes bath in the kund. Other gopis also take bath in the kund. It is said whoever takes bath in Radha Kund gets the love of Krishna. Whoever takes bath in Krishna Kund gets the love of Radharani. They love each other. They love the kund also. Each other. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu's Yatha Kundam Tatham. I'm not able to recollect the verse. Yatha Radha Priya Kundam Yasya Deve. Just put that verse. Sarvagopeshu Sevaika Vishnur Atyanta Vallabha. In this way it will come. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnus Yatha Kundam Tatham Para. Atyanta Vallabha it will come. Vishnur Atyanta Vallabha. Somebody has to put that verse. Sometimes I forget the verse. Okay, so this is how Krishna loves Radha Kund, Sham Kund so much. If you can put that verse, it will be nice. Kundam, Yatha Radha Priya Vishnus, Yatha Kundam Priyam Tatha. Sarvagopeshu Sevaika Vishnur Atyanta Vallabha. That is how this verse is. So today there will be heavy rush in Vrindavan. They will go for Baulashtami festival. Exactly night, 12 o'clock, they all will be taking bath. So let us see the so we will have today the pastime of how the depth of father is cleared by Shripad Madhavacharya. That is where we stopped yesterday. Hmm? Depth discharge with tamarind seeds. This is a vow for for Karthik. Our go for Karthik is we have to read the life of Shri Madhavacharya. Madhavacharya helps us to remove the vices. All the vices are immediately removed if we take Ashraya of Madhavacharya. Debt discharge with tamarind seeds. On another day, Vasudev had just returned to home after finishing play. On the word of his mother, he went to call his father for lunch. His father whispered, "Child, the rich man who had sold me an ox is sitting in Dharna. I have not yet cleared the balance of the debt. He is not prepared to leave without getting it paid. But I have no money to pay him, so I will not come. You finish the lunch." Madhyageha was poor, but was not lacking in good conduct. Though he had no money to repay, his good conduct did not agree to finish lunch, leaving beside his creditor. So he said such words. The scriptures, too, do not admit partaking of lunch before liquidating debt. That is why the scriptures have prescribed the daily performance of Pancha Mahayagya, Deva Yagya, Rishi Yagya, Pitru Yagya, Bhuta Yagya, Manushya Yagya, to liquidate the debt due to the gods, sages, mains, created beings, and men respectively. That is how when you take food, you should always think that we should call, invoke all. So that is how the best thing is what? Just feed Krishna, then try to distribute prasadam to everyone. When Krishna eats, all the Pitrus also eat. As much as possible, just distribute prasadam to as many as you can. Though Madhyageha could not repay, they have further cautioned that eating without performing this would lead to suffering in the hell where worms would have to be eaten. So Deva Yajna, Devatas to be fed, Rishis to be fed, you can call the devotees, feed the devotees, Pitru Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, call some unknown people come, they give, not unknown you can say, all of a sudden somebody comes. We should invite also sometimes, Atiti, Manushya Yajna, and all these things we have to do. Though Madhyagya could not repay the debt, he was aware of the concept that one should not eat without clearing debt. Vasudeva appreciated his dedication. Immediately he called the creditor and took him near the tamarind tree of the house. Hmm. He collected he collected a handful of the tamarind seeds scattered at the foot of the tree and gave it to that rich man. Wonder, they appeared as money for the rich man. He took them happily and went home. Madhyagya was astonished by the sport of his son. The problem of that day was solved. Madhyagya could not understand what is happening. This child took some seeds. Even today, also in the Rangan, this tree is there. He just took some handful of tamarind seeds and gave it to that rich man, that money lender. Immediately he left. He saw it as money. Madhyagya decided to repay the debt as early as possible. When he mobilized the resources with great difficulty and went to the rich man, surprise awaited him. Revered sir, your son had did clear all your debt on that day itself. Bhatt was struck with great wonder, as he himself had seen only tamarind seeds were given to him, not money. How it turned into money for him, this became an unsolved puzzle for him. The debt of Bhatt was cleared. For the rich man, the bondage in samsara himself itself had been broken. His devotion and dedication to Vasudeva changed the course of his life. If Sri Krishna alias Vasudeva accepted beaten rice from poor Sudama and liberated him from the bondage of birth, then this Vasudeva gave tamarind treats, seeds, and liberated the rich man from the bondage of birth. The comparison is given with Krishna's pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are done by even his devotees also. Sri Krishna is Bimba, Vasudeva is Pratibimba, because this is the reflection of Krishna's pastimes. That is why so much similarity is there in their deeds. A climber could not catch hold of the branch of a drumstick tree. It is hollow and safe. It's hollow and unsafe. He must catch hold of the branch of a tamarind seed. It is quite safe. Drumstick tree would fall on the holder himself and cause damage. Tamarind tree is not like that. Without itself falling, it helps the holder to climb up. The staying of Shri Vadiraja in Yukti Mallika, Grahiyati Grahni Yat Tin Trini Shakham Shigru Shakaha Grahanena Kim Guna Saurabham 33. Catch hold of a branch of a tamarind tree. What is the use of catching hold of the branch of a drumstick tree? Is like an annotation of this episode. The message here is that one should get salvation by abandoning hollow religions and following the best religion. So comparison of these two trees is don't catch the tree which is hollow. So don't follow a hollow religion. Follow a true religion. This Pajaka Kshetra on the northwest corner of Vasudeva Tirtha, there is a tamarind tree. Tradition holds that this episode took place under this tree. This is in Padaka Kshetra. From the marriage hall to the temple. Now, this is the next topic. From the marriage hall to the temple. Nidiyuru was the native village of the relatives of Madhyageha. There was a marriage festivity. Bhat couple came there to attend that along with Vasudev. The marriage hall, the marriage hall was crowded with the marriage hall was crowded with relatives. Vasudev noted that his mother was not noticing him in that marriage zeal. He quietly walked out from there. The nature of wisdom is like that. If studies are neglected because of festivities like marriage, then all that was learned would be erased from the mind indeed. So, all these so called social ceremonies, they actually erase all our wisdom. That is why one should not pay more attention in attending these festivals. In a short, in a short, while the couple noticed the absence of Vasudev, this time they did not want to waste time by searching for him in the house. 1 year old child had returned after wandering all through the forest. Now he is 3 years old. एकाकी योजनाभ्याम व्यवहिता मध्य स्त्रीवर्षोषे स्त्रीवर्षोषे मरौको 3 years old. It is Prameyana Mallika is 1.5. He is now 3 years old. 1 year, what he did, he caught hold of the bull's tail, and he roamed about and came in the evening. They were searching in the house everywhere, but this time they did not waste time. There was no chance of finding him in the neighborhood, but hurriedly went out to search him. He anxiously began to inquire about the child, all those whom he met on the way, on the same lines as Kushina Kandiru, Guru Mukhya Pranara, Guru Mukhya Pranana Kandira. Did you see the child? Did you see the preceptor Mukhya Prana? Guru Mukhya Prana Kandira. Kandira means, did you see Kushina Kandiru? Did you see the child? Did you see the Mukhya Prana who is Guru? The reply given by them confirmed his route. We saw such a child. We inquired him too. It is not proper for such small child like you to wander away alone. For that query of ours, the reply the child gave was a gentle smile only. At last, treading the route of the child, the place first reached was Kodaburu, then Tal, Talkad, and then finally Anantasana of Udupi. There, Vasudeva was devotedly performing obeisances to Anantasana with 8 parts of his body. Ashtanga Pranam, that is known as Dandavat Pranam. 8 parts of the body are touched on the ground. The Matajis should have Panchanga Pranam. 5 parts of the body touch the ground. It was a long distance of about 2 yojanas for him who started like a bee to see the lotus like face of his son. The words of the people all along the route was a breathing air. On beholding the sun, the tears of sorrow, ready to roll out of his eyes, turned into tears of joy. But the behavior of his son remained a puzzle for him. It was a source of anxiety. He inquired anxiously, "O child, how did you tread this long distance all alone?" Who accompanied you? He saw the lightning of the knowledge of reality in reply given by Vasudeva. Father, I did not come alone. All along, Bhagavan did come with me. He did stay with me in one form. The import of the Shruti, Dva Suparna, that means we don't come alone. We come along with our Lord. It is Lord who accompanies us. Dva Suparna became explicit by experience. This is a quotation. This is actually one of the formalisms. Shruti. This is one of the Vedanta Sutra, Dva Suparna. Now this became very clear to Madhyageya Bhatt. The unique association of God and soul is the import of this episode. He thought that oft repeated sojourn of the child was indicative of his permanent separation from him. He devotedly prayed to Bhagavan, my son is so mischievous as not to stay at one place. The surrounding is a dreadful forest full of ghosts and goblins. You alone, who has blessed me with him, have to protect him from danger. He was not aware that his son is the greatest personality, Shri Vayudeva, worthy of the choicest blessings of Shri Hari. He has the protective armor of Shri Hari, and he is the protective armor of the world. So the child says, that I have not come alone. Lord has come along with me. It is true. We never go anywhere alone. Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. It is Krishna who gives us jnanam. He gives us forgetfulness. He gives us the memory. Sarvasva chaham hridhi sannivishto. Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Sarvesh Vedeshcha sarve rahameva vedyaha. Vedanta kritved videva chaham. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasva chaham hridhi sannivishto. I stay in the heart of the devotees, in the heart of every soul, in the heart of every body. You can say every body. Body is a tree. Their soul is there, super soul is also there. The soul travels. When the soul travels, it is Lord who accompanies him. And that is how, when the soul gets a new body, it is Lord who gives him Mataha Smriti Raga. Krishna says, Mata means myself, gives Smrtir Jnanam Apohanam. I give knowledge, I give forgetfulness, and I give the memory. Initiation of the Lord of speech to alphabets. Now, Vidyarambha Sanskara of Shripad Madhavacharya. The next one was the initiation into alphabets. Bhatt performed with great zeal the initiation of Vasudev into alphabet. On the first day, he performed the rites as prescribed by the scriptures and made Vasudev to write some letters on a big stone slab. Even today, this stone slab could be seen in the house in Pajaka where he was born. So we can see that slab where the first alphabet Om had been written by Vasudev's father holding Vasudev's hand. Vasudev and he made Vasudev to write some letters on a big stone slab and made the necessary corrections. Initiation into the letters for the would-be Lord of Saraswati, a peculiar situation that made the gods laugh heartily. Everybody is laughing. He is the Lord of Saraswati and he is made to write alphabet. On the next day, he asked him to write the same letters in order and correct it. Vasudev questioned, why are you writing the same letters again and again? I have learnt all of them. So saying, he wrote them all. His father understood this child is an ocean of wisdom. May he not be affected by the evil eye of the people. Generally, when such situation is there, when the child is extraordinary, at that time, everyone has a fear, especially the parents. कहीं बुरा नजर न लग जाए. Thinking thus he continued the lessons in a solitary place. Strange are the ways of the gods. Their style is to behave like a common folk, all the time revealing their superiority. Now, behavior is like a common folk, but he is revealing his superiority also. Now, let us see. Next topic is the defeat of Shiva Bhatta. Now, the child is how many years old? Just 3 years. The defeat of Shiva Bhatta. Neyampally was the home of another relative of Bhatt. There was a special festival. For that, Mother Vedavati went with child Vasudev. This is what is known as discrimination not to abandon Jnana Karya on account of any festival. There was an occasion of a lecture. It is a rule of the scriptures that Shravana is a daily must. One has to every day hear about Lord. We are so fortunate, isn't it? We have got this program of every day we are able to read and hear. Vedavati followed that rule even during the marriage rush. Just see, sometimes we say marriage ceremony is there. That is why I was absent in the class. But here it is very clearly said Jnana Karya should not be left on any pretext. So now here, Vedavati went to hear. For that, he proceeded to hear the lecture. Now Vasudeva also went along with mother. Even at that time, Vasudeva was seated on her lap. The secret of women in emancipation lies in nourishing their association with Vayudev. Shiv Bhatta was a popular exponent of the Puranas in those times. He belonged to the family of Madinaya. Around him was a large gathering of audience. True to his name, he was rendering an episode so as to show the superiority of Shiva, Shiv Bhatta. So now about the same thing has been given here little in the text. It could have been an episode like the slaying of Vali, abandonment of Sita, the dialogue between Bhimsen and Python, the slaying of the Shashan, the breaking of the thigh of Duryodhana, the drinking of the poison, halahala of Vayudeva, by Vayudeva and the like. In these episodes, any explanation that is against the doctrines of supremacy of Hari and that of Vayu among the souls is unacceptable, as it will be again the import of the scriptures. This is a note which has been given. Vasudeva could not control. What he could not control? Because this episode was showing the superiority of Shiva. He thundered where he was seated. Now he's seated on the lap of mother. Oh, Puranika, your interpretation is not acceptable to Vyasa, Shuka, and other wise men. The shout was like a roar of a lion. The scriptures describe the shout of Vayudeva is that of a beam. All the audience turned towards the direction the voice came from. For them, the voice of Shiv Bhatta was like a howling of a fox. Shiv Bhatt became helpless. He struggled to respond. People understood that he does not know the correct meaning. Then all of them requested Vasudeva himself, "Oh child, you yourself tell its correct meaning." Vasudeva had incarnated only for that. He narrated the correct import of the episode that did not dislodge the supremacy of Vishnu. Shiv Bhatt was vanquished. His defeat was no wonder, as gods like Shiva and others were inflicted with defeat by Vayudeva. It was the first lecture by the concert of Bharati, the series of victory that began on that day went on continuously. It became the inauguration of his victory march. At the age of 3, he's giving a big class, just see, whole day he gave. It became the benedictory verse for the refutation of bad religion. That is how he shows through the tamarind seed. The tamarind tree, you catch hold of the branch, you can easily climb. You catch hold of a drumstick tree, you will fall along with the tree. So hollow religion is completely removed. The refutation of bad religion, the purpose of his coming is for this purpose. A lecture has to be honored only if it is authentic. It is an offense to leave lectures that are not authentic, unrefused. Vedavati escaped from the danger of hearing a wrong lecture because she took Vasudeva with her. This episode is an instance in point to show that if the works of Sri Madhva, which are like his replica, are nearby, then the misfortune of wrong interpretation would be averted. So that is the strength of having Madhavacharya's book in house. Wrong philosophy will never enter the consciousness. So when we are going to Pajaka Kshetra, there you can purchase Madhavacharya's book. You should keep at home and also read also. After returning home, Vasudeva reported to his father all that had happened, and asked, "Oh, Father, you tell whose interpretation is correct, mine, or is it the interpretation of Shiv Bhatt?" Bhatt became speechless. The genius of his son was beyond imagination. How convincingly his son had explained the episode of the Purana that might have been very difficult for even himself. What a proficiency he had exhibited in communicating it. Indeed, he was the best lecturer. All these were the fruit of the grace of the Lord. He exclaimed happily, "O child, what you said is correct." Now let us see the next episode. The word likucha annotated. Now in the previous it is Shivabhatta is completely refuted. Now the word likucha annotated. That means explanation for the word likucha is given. One's father Madhyageha himself was lecturing on a Purana. It was the occasion. It was the occasion of giving the meaning of the Puranic verses describing various plants. His father is giving the class. Vasudev was in the audience. Father explained the names of hundreds of plants for the wonderment of the child, of the audience. Everybody is saying, "Oh, 100 trees or plants which have been described in the Puranas have been explained by the father Madhyageya Bhatt." When they were wondering of the scholarship of Bhatt, Vasudev said, "Please favor us by repeating those verses and their meaning." Father did so. Vasudev said, "Oh, Father, this time too, you did not at all tell the meaning of the word likucha alone in that original verse. You're trying to skip this word likucha. It was a wonder for the people, so also for the father. Vasudev had noticed that what others did not. So he noticed what others did not. Now, child is how many years? Just 3 to 4 years. But then even Bhatt did not tell its meaning. He did not know it as well. His greatness was that though he could not explain it correctly, he did not commit an offense to the text by giving a wrong meaning. Shiv Bhatta did this. Shiv Bhatta gave a contradictory meaning, whereas Madhyageha did not give the meaning. Contradiction is dangerous. Skipping the meaning is indicative of only the limit of his knowledge. That is okay. If you don't know, you say just "I don't know." But giving a wrong interpretation just to show that I know everything is wrong. But for omniscient Vasudev, even skipping the meaning was not acceptable. And so the curing. When even at last but did not answer, the people asked Vasudev himself, "Oh child, you yourself tell its meaning." Vasudev replied at once, "Its meaning is Hebelassu." That means jackfruit tree. Along with Bhatt, people also wondered, indeed, he's omniscient. He knows the whole botany. A son who excels his father. His father was not hurt by this. He was not hurt by this. In one way, was it not proof enough to show that he had the distinguished knowledge of all other plants and trees except that one tree? It's only a matter of pride and not insult for any father at any time that his son is more intelligent than himself. Putraditech, putraditshet parabhavam, desire, defeat inflicted by the son. People too did not mistake Bhatt. What a great scholar Bhatt was, well versed in subtle matters. But his son of distinguished brilliance was gem of a scholar who excelled him. A natural question is, was it necessary for Vasudev to dilate so much on the omission of the meaning of the word likucha, which apparently was not a big offense, as it had no bearing upon the scope of the excellent philosophy he propounded? So, was it so offensive that Madhyageya Bhatt just skipped off the meaning of likucha? The people there came to know the answer for it on another day. Trivikrama Pandita was honored as the foremost among his disciples. He composed Harivayu Stuti. His son Narayana Pandita is the author of Sumadhva Vijaya. What we are reading now is the translation of Sumadhva Vijaya. This lineage of that father and son, that is Trivikrama Panditacharya and Narayana Panditacharya, they come from the family of Likucha. That was why Vasudev had special liking for the word Likucha. He did not like the father, the lecture of his father for the omission of that word. Then people understood that Vasudev is well versed in the science of botany. Later they realized he is omniscient, who knows past and future. Trikala Drishti. So here we'll stop. Any questions you can ask. So today is celebration at Kandividi. If you are possible, you can come or come to Jagannath Devasthanam. There you can light lamp for Lord. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी। माता जी आपने कहा ना ज्ञान कार्य कभी भी वो नहीं होना चाहिए, चुकना नहीं चाहिए। मगर अभी कभी कभी हमें ऐसा हो जाता है तो हम YouTube से सुन सकते हैं, हम कभी भी मिस नहीं करते।
Yes, yes.
दिस
आपको
इज द
प्रोविजन
वंडरफुल।
तो प्रोविजन नहीं था ना, अभी तो बहुत सारे
हाँ
प्रोविजन
माता
हो गए। ठीक है।
दिस इज द ब्लेसिंग माता जी, YouTube इज अ ब्लेसिंग। थैंक यू माता जी।